I practice in La Mesa, California. I am a board certified orthodontist. I graduated from the University of Nebraska Medical Center orthodontic program in '98 and bought my practice in La Mesa at that time. And over the last 25 years, I have built my practice up to a 4.5-day-a-week practice, seeing 120 patients a day. I am very involved in organized dentistry and orthodontics. I've been a past president of the San Diego County Dental Society, as well as the past president of the Pacific Coast Society of Orthodontists. And I still am involved very heavily within organized orthodontics, being a delegate for the House of Delegates for the AAO, and also the representative to the Council on Government Affairs for the AAO. Back in 2019, I was looking for a way to transition my practice as I was taking on more responsibilities with the AAO. And my practice was so large that really it would have been difficult to have sold it or partnered with somebody who could afford to do it. And so I had seen LPS's ads, and I knew Chip, who's the principal at LPS. And so him and I met in 2019 at the Los Angeles AAO meeting. It's nice to have a partner with you who knows how to value your practice, represents you, and is fighting for you, and is not looking out for the other guy. And so I think that's where the value comes with large practice sales, their company, their expertise. Well, so as you go through this process, you learn a lot. You learn a lot of new words and a lot of new acronyms and EBITDA and valuation and all this stuff. And in the end, obviously you always think your practice is worth more than what they're telling you, but in the end, it's a pretty fair process. When I went about this process, it was great because most of the people that I talked to they were all startups. So we could kind of, guide the discussion into the vision that I thought would be successful for a new OSO. And one of those was to keep the practice name, the community involvement, the culture and things like that a lot of DSOs or OSOs try to change because they think they're smarter than the very successful practices that they're buying. And so that was how I went about the process. And it worked out really well because the people that I eventually chose, and I had a couple that, I went through the process and it didn't come to fruition, but my final group, they really understood that and they were really going to be a silent partner in it, where your reputation, your practice name still, which had a ton of influence within my community, still was there. And so I wouldn't lose that influence I had in the community. I wouldn't lose my marketability of the practice by going with some crazy name like East County Orthodontics or something like that. And so that's why I liked the silent partner approach to an OSO. I think LPS did a really good job. There were, whenever you do a deal like this, which is a large deal and you have multiple partners, there's always hiccups along the way, roadblocks, speed bumps. But LPS really understood those and was able to maneuver around them and help me guide me to the end. And that's what was really helpful, having Maxwell helping out on that side, Chip and Matt, and all the staff that helps you do this, especially Morgan, who was invaluable in the whole process through the evaluations and things like that. I would say, every case is individual situation, but if you're at a point where you're thinking of partnering or selling your practice, or you want to have a transition plan, it's a great way to go, especially if you have a practice that's large, that a normal sell would be very difficult with young doctors trying to come up with the financing and stuff. I think this is really a great way to do it. And it lengthens your career, because when you're done with the deal, you can still work in your practice going forward and have a nice salary So if you're not ready to retire when the practice recaps or the OSO recaps, hey, you can still keep working. And I think that's the best part of these guilds is it extends your career without the pressure. I mean, you need to have that because unfortunately, you think your advisors really know a lot of stuff, your accountant, your attorney, but these are very complicated deals. And it was very good. They actually helped me find an attorney that I really love, that really understood these deals as well. And so just that knowledge, that institutional knowledge was invaluable. You know, they put a lot of effort into it. People will say, oh, you paid that big fee. And I said, well, you know, nobody was really looking in Southern California until LPS started, you know, beating the bushes and you know, putting us out there saying, hey, we have this group of doctors in Southern California. And I think that's really what made people start thinking about coming into Southern California. I think LPS was instrumental in having that market opened up.